30 minutes after 3, Ekosiisen so higher sempa 94.7 FM. Yeda munyina asesa ma munyina akwa aba bio se matwen yen ama yako aba. Many of your say bon so make say the national chair of the NDC, the Honorable Samuel Ofosu Ampofo, ewa ha yen no edin komo matenenka dada and in common be bri why was say sign edi edeka. In the chairman, Masiam wakwa aba bio na my first question ebeye okwa round. Would you agree with a flag bearer say swing regions, any swing regions are what Ghana ha? Says Sisiano because 2016 we lose a lot of those swing regions. But says Sisiano air drifted back to the NDC. Sana uhuno.
Well, I didn't dream because means many nanti about pro. But main code details, but make me like I say I agree with him say Western and Central, then DC will perform better in the upcoming election. As for Western North, there, it is our vote basket. I'm say we lost a Contombra seat, and as a few also. And I'm say Bibiani.
They say MPP we need that.
And you know. 11 constituencies for
Western
North.
Yeah.
Our West performance will be 10 over 11.
10 over 11?
Yes.
Meaning some more say just a also.
I want to mark the idea with that. Safi also you go so agent and I want to mark some say you need public independence and the achievement, you know. I want to rise in the basket.
I send the poor MPP for also born a Basoman the deputy minister.
Well, sir, be a minister who to lose election and your deputy minister. It's a Contombra is a very strong hold of the NDC.
Yeah.
Nobody thought to say we will ever lose that seat since 1992 and lose we. And in Yama is a man a bastard. I'm a party no at the region, and let me commend the regional chairman Big Edu and then Crawford.
Yeah.
One bomb there ya Juma a Contombra is a done deal. So we are taking it back. I am saying, say, our worst performance in
Western North will be 10 over 11.
10 over 11.
But the margins for Bodi and Joaboso in 2016, even when you won, now any encouraging how?
Well, but we have done a lot of work, and as I speak to you now, the General Secretary is in the Western North.
Oh, okay.
Doing a lot of work. But only one day because of another press conference. No, we are much on cycle. And no, but more any brea, any abre, those areas. We are leaving those 2 on 10 to ensure, say, bit me, I maintain a clean records. I will a Western North.
The wind of change blow in Central region. Emma Munya only 4 out of all the seats in that region. No. Ufri se mubetimi reverses our trend. No. Central region.
Central region is a very interesting region. We analyze Central region since 1992. A swing virtually every 4 years in one direction. We are working very hard, hoping that this time around the swing will be in favor of NDC.
Of the NDC.
Several factors. Danomiko Western region, Central region, no more kasa. Because was a region be also more NDC. No more a boy abasona or more reward of the avosa. That region is Central region. Because since 1992, Central region has been on the NDC ticket every in 1992. No, not a President Rollins and Aka for Central. Yes. 1996, President Rollins and Mills. 2000, now Mills.
Yes.
And
Martinamidu.
2004.
Mills.
And Mohamed Mumuni. In the Central region with ticket also. 2008.
Mills
Mahama. Na Central region. 2012. Na Mahama Amisata. Central region also. 2016. Mahama Amisata. Na Central region also. And 2020. Mahama Professor Jenana Opoku Ajima. In the Central region 4, a region, a very central to the NDC. Yachro dopa the Central region. Say every 4 years, 2 nipa mienu a omo e ticket no so no oba ko free central region me no makasa me ne ahemfo no ya kwakwa address the regional house of chiefs ya move to various traditional areas no makwakwa kasa ya mo hu say ade NDC ya de ahwe mo no nyam say even for the first time in the history of the party no you have cover oba running mate enyo oba bia keke oba wasom ne man what central region anim about the first vice chancellor of a public university asambe one of the most successful ministers of education. Sometimes I don't say you na po to ya maame no MP ya na e ma reho kakra because Mejidi said this is a very decent woman who has brought finesse into political campaigning. Medina chini na nanti na mahu say oyobia odi ne huni na oba Ministry of Education be minister nso no. You see, she concentrated on quality education, very deep things about education. Any populous. When you bet me about popular policy, no bet my but no, or make sure say teacher absenteeism drop drastically. Or make sure say textbooks supply increase exponentially. Or make sure say WAEC resource no Ghana for the whole 4 years your resource was one of the best. You see, into education, a very comprehensive, and we'll make sure say in terms of infrastructure, no so. Or born home they say under her leadership as Minister of Education, you be expanding infrastructure at all levels, both at the basic, and the secondary, and the tertiary, and now under her watch, no, or born more they say, or ma polytechnics, no. Elevating the technical universities. Yes. In fact, the vision now or the elevating polytechnic technical universities. The current minister has no clue and no idea about it. And so when we met the Technical University Teachers Association, they were expressing a lot of frustrations. Say the hope of munya and the roadmap and virtually everything has come to a standstill, and they were lamenting. And you know, me the Mejidi say. A big opportunity Ghana for any technical universities ni polytechnics ni say maame na ode hwehwe de buy na sanya babio na in this time no in a higher capacity say obaba behwe na what me implement the concept of the technical universities we implementing here or expand teacher education. So one more eto da bia one more can free SHS no enye ya no na de free SHS so. Deep thought and thinking went into the implementation of free SHS under the NDC. The NDC? Yes, under the first. When the NDC they introduced free SHS. Because check it. Nana Akufo-Addo cry a statement be say, and he just say, President Mahama added the concept of free SHS atuma also the year. President Mahama approach was very simple. Or say help us you free, now being free, the numbers will increase. The numbers will be increase here. First, try and expand infrastructure. But more than say, school are dying near me, but more than say, ube beam. And it's not President Mama starting say, OC 200 e-blocks. Send your buyer e-block no back be at me nearly 1,500 students. Enti no say, utimi sisi no there. Now if you say I free, and just will be a benya baby I then ako. Near Tosumi no. I was saying more teachers. We are the free now expanding Colando doors or being teachers national identity or expanding teacher education, teach colleges or first or upgrading to tertiary education. And now expand the infrastructure no. Send the better you training more teachers. And now some private training colleges or absorb into the national network. Send the better you bet me more colleges of education and teacher for not me adults. Until first, teachers or training more or expand the infrastructure. And now, after books, nkwalano be use no so no. I was here to be printing more books and beya. Nkwalano ba no mo dos one. Ubetimi anya sa dem we na na dem. Until say NDC etnasia anka ye free senior high school no. Ye nya problem with double track. Until na President Mahama say Oba within 1 year no oba abolish double track system.
Yeah, but I'm free senior high school said now can more approach na a different. But am in target when you expect to roll it out?
No. The target was very clear because you see, the moment of starting of day schools, it's about almost 400,000 or thereabout day students benefited under the free senior high school. And the next phase, and they say, expand there. Then gradually, the boarding people will also come on board because you see. I don't
know when was that going to happen.
It was a process because once you finish the infrastructure, now we'll put you up. And let me tell you, say in 2009,
yes,
President Mills, president. Now President Kufuor has started the 4-year SHS.
Yes,
into a double stream of final year 4 years. Yes, SHS na 3 years.
Yes.
President Mills used 1 year at the expanded secondary infrastructure program. Satan, I'm a regional minister of Eastern Region. Yes, you see school dying our Pojos. You see, your friends say Ganas and non friend at secondary schools. And several other parts of the country. Within 1 year, now President Mills, I think, are stabilizing our system. No? But they say 4 years, we are still in double track. And you see, on education, let me say, sir, it is very regrettable. And Niente was say, and comfortable, but they have not been sincere with the people of this country, and they have toyed with the education of this country.
Oh, quite bad, so.
When maybe a local government minister, and I created new districts. One of the districts I created was Ashanti region. Such a Front Plains district. If I tell you at the time I created district, now me call Krum my drop also. The state of the town, and the complete lack of infrastructure, but we were determined to create district. They created this, and now call no you will be amazed. Chrono, send me the picture, 2011 picture, number this is and one of the things I hear they say, how you the food baskets of the Ashanti region. Ewo Mampong, Kumawu, Nsuta, and we infinity honum into your more drop bonso and fee and area and those communities. Until the strategy was to create a growth area there. And if you want to address poverty or areas, first I also introduce to education. Until you could see e-block no back, AC drop bonso. So they capture all the villages, now almost when you have access to secondary education because the closest I will meet me about quite a distance. How many of them can be absorbed? When we say school done almost here we almost painting, almost in Kunyagum 4 years, and I could afford any napo and me and Fakolaba got
I said, and the day that decision,
they have not opened the school. They have not opened the school. Oh, open school now, and Uncle Foko. The infrastructure is ready. Everything is ready there. But I was see academic year, school we know.
The
teacher
placement
and then for continue to placement in Columbia. How callous can you be to allow that huge infrastructure and not say we for 4 years at Columbia school? Every year, Biano, an average of 1,000 to 1,500 children would have had opportunities on Beku school.
But problem is
4 years. What I'm saying is, you can't unim St. John's Grammar.
Yes, St. John's
Grammar. Wouldn't be this. Emra ye background na ye afi na na near fear ye hu kan first. Now ba St. John Grammar wo wirem. Bulk press, baby a bulk press of Anko baby a bulk press was say no. Now mo friend na edin bi wo ho no mo de friend na edin bi wo ho mo friend mi rafi. Na wirem. Presec na wo wirem. But e kro nyi no na be nti school no kra de schools bebre wo ho a Christian Methodist.
Any problem. No.
What we are saying is that one of the things that they did, for the first one, they can't say I'm saying that I'm considering that place as a rural community. First one, you could be our power station. No. Na ensure the new room because I thought there be a more place proximity no it me several a number of communities I work on. First one, me refi anchored me refi krono. I'm so we bet me a friend work and your commission. See school my me call Saboba district baako bi ewo Saboba district and those me do afi kro na ewo people can remind me na ma pon school na me twam na me hu nipa nam hodom na asenia forest of ayina move over 1,000 students and na ma pon am ba fi enti the essence ne say ebema access na nkofo betimi anya kwan no more access secondary education enti se nipa na ho bia no e no mo e wardrobe nso o mo bo nkuro ni ade e ho no nyina obi okra okumawu kra no ye ba and the beautiful thing is that the moment you do that no nkofo ba be investment na e bi see hostels ba bi okra obekọ no se nkola no no so a o motimi convert bi into boarding ba ko wo mion ene yendi mfimfin ho no ba bi o ma convert part of it ama nkola no eda ho no because population no also we will still have some facilities out with me there. Until I keep on asking myself, say, I don't know my better now. What about 4 years, sir? Yeah, pay access to secondary education. Near sis are done way. When I went to Upper West region, about 6 of them, a do about 90 to 90% complete. One abandoning now. So can you imagine, say, 4 years no, would the year no, and no more day students no more. And call him now bet me any opportunity among. School
but in practical terms, the chairman say Osha concept amudi see schools na a community day. And for example, the see Kwabenya no. Kwabenya the say is full to capacity. In fact, let me question no. Government had to add some more facilities to Kwabenya the no. So we here no see all the others I am example why baby ebinum esi. In practical terms, they cannot be day schools because I want far board and anko. Now, when your buses are a student, it becomes difficult. The second bit is when they say, a buying Eddie Ababe just say they've added some of these community schools to computer placement. No student choose those schools. And chose those schools. In the no, a buying what should government do? Because secondary education primarily by choice. And was something that we choose some person and some what they may at all. How do you respond to that?
My more example. Me found question here. Tema West. Lashibi. Me am Tema West Lashibi. One of the projects where we is 3 years in there. Are you telling me say Saban Bie Lashibi funeral home actually wow. So wouldn't ma memma we program Lashibi Tema West. Carlos constituency.
Yeah.
Miami constituency. Ya we done 3 years in this year. Wouldn't say o call Lashibi your Catholic school, your friend Corpus Christi Senior High School, is oversubscribed. In Colapa school, Omunya baby inko. Lashibi funeral home actually where you one of the E-blocks manisi one more 3 years in no muye no. Yamfa Colabian court. Are you telling me say Nipa Muya and Lighting on Mako school? There was so many junior high schools. I was Lashibi, Bachona, Klagon, and then Ajekojo, Abesi, Sakumono, Estate, Sakumono Main. The basic baby your friend say Bachuna Honda. Ofo said from school. As I'm telling you, say let your people go to Lashibi Ochna, no more school. You see E-block area 3 years near see one more young Fakolabianco school. Enti no yam fa eno and again ebra sa program no because of the day nature and we say most of them were supply of school buses. Some of the buses never pick one from their various communities. So experiment it. Person Kwala school. How many of them now we senior high school? One more a year drop on so. Schools were outside. I also more opportunities said drop on so one in the crowd. Really, my young fan drop on so for long. Then can say 100 students. Can't you start something with it? School bill has started with 50. We now I could do better thousands. And it's clearly no. There's no justification for abandoning those projects by the government because
will it be fair to say more abandoned when they've completed 23? Would it be fair to say or more abandoned projects?
How many have they completed? Me see the projects are 90 to 95% complete. But we are yes here we are painting this friends say nkonyagum yamfa nkola nkogo. We call Upper West Sisala East or him be a development consultants a the Zanos.
Okay.
Now ohin kasa no ahomache you could do ahomache sada no any president mama free 9 o'clock you drew sa constituency no Sisala East no West East na abo ahmache no mensa no he no ene nkrofo
ete ho twem
eno he no lament hwe school na si hwe ya wie school be ya mfie mensa ni si ebie ya anka every year bia me ma ene me nana no be about 1,000 plus benya access to senior high school ene si ho. He was lamenting. He's one of the wisest chiefs I'm mentioned. In fact, not some more can ye a Tommy Kumaswa, Mammy, say, may record Canada be a body. Maybe Sunday, so a development consultant. Young chief. Not all lament to say, Yaja e blocked the DSU. Several places I call it, Okwa, Dorimo, Yakwa, Neomo Cancer School New, yes, here we abandoned project. Or say on for Bianco, the Matifia or Munyasas. And what's the sense in it? Give the opportunity to the people. Nothing may be a normal uncle. Because they nominate their no car, who throw we are over placement. Baby, a place you sell cordon now. Baby, how to sue, baby, a bitch in the farm near a place you need what baby say a hanako. It is not an excuse to say, Ubian to so they could have come out of a deliberate policy to populate those schools, especially with Nkola a war catchment area where my passing exams. They encourage you some of them starting na munya nkakra because wa puli na na make a friend is zab na make Novel region where na zab sabuba no school de Wapuli senior high school.
Okay.
Nkola over 1,000 plus. But all of them moved. School in sick room. But Ominako. Inti buses no could have been also used to facilitate their movement. Inti it is grounds. Now Nkofo Kasasla or Yawa Umudi Wonwa. One Tanahan justify say school needs to be a year outlandish. Otherwise, school say you na do come and chromata mina almost see no outside because that should be an chrono expanding no. Oberhena school no could di chrome fin. And Nipa Bebre would have done in places like Baby and Namike. Some NGOs because our boys and one bicycles. Yeah, they are students. Hundreds of students not bicycles. So no more school because distances no any other thing.
Yeah, but Uji Tumun also said my promise no was to do 200 in 4 years. Mo handing over note more than 46 next year. In fact, ministry in a contest say indeed. As far as completion is concerned, 29 and a movie.
It's not. It has been proven beyond reasonable doubt. If you like, call we have gone to places. One man baby, we are now school. 123 was in various stages of completion, and 40 something had been completed.
Yeah, 46 in your handing over note. But they say 46. But also be yes, more we dino up into the lab computers are not fixed and all of that. You cannot say you're completed.
What prevents the government for 4 years to put computers and furniture there in Nankolako school? Ubi esidan, mami esidan, and papa esidan ejam. We're sitting in area we are painting. Fankonyagum na kwatenema was being cotton because you're done it. One can say, how do you answer it? I mean, Obi, sometimes I'll be happy some of you take 1 day out of your console, sit in a car, go to that community, ekoshe lamentation de adwatro ankofo etwa se omani agese yesi dan si wo se ama na o mati fifi omunya school nko. It is not an easy thing. It's so emotional. I became so emotional because meaning how the district started. Because by the grace of God, as local government minister, I created a district. The first inauguration, but be a office. And then electricity above. At our town rules. You see market among. You see police station. You see clinic among. You more senior high school, which is critical towards poverty alleviation in the area. La senior high school in that 4 years near Mbiano.
But now how do you convince school? How? Because if they've selected schools, omanya grade or pass on because senior high school, and that's the reason why the double track thing came. In here, they are school. Once you've passed, you'll be placed
so
and you go to school.
You think that all those who qualify school?
Everybody who qualified
to enter senior high school.
Admission.
It's not in school.
How
Not
come?
everybody is in school. Because even with the double track, no crowd, baby, or what, a nipana in your with the upper, Koda says, our village, one no. Man, we are senior high school, more qualified in a more in a free village or whole school. Na can see a mom opportunity say a B school into no. Monfa Monsha Montade and Namonantana Momra school, now has a winning from my school. So, the essence of the infrastructure expansion was to ensure equity and accessibility. Now, yet me ubia access we are bringing education to your doorstep to take advantage of
all these points are just to show how quality your running mate is. Because in the sector now or one will say Juma. In that same sector, no, the criticism against her and they say or cancel teacher training allowances. Cancel nursing training allowances. And people think say every government before the Mahama administration provided the student. Why she cancelled that? No, it's more like an albatross around Moneka. Was say much Ghana for
years. Well, says one more we nursing training, and the teacher training. Omotifi omunya adwuma no. Anka omunya say one more we na adwuma wo homa oma. Na anka mo automatic we ya na ko wura adwuma mu anka betimi ampo. Anka omunya say expansion no ho na access edoso because abro can say yeah this is way but we have school no betimi afa 400 you say reduce the entry to 100 until you have denied 300 people the opportunity to access nursing education until bebre wo ha one more we school na omo wie yenso no you say afa de we kura kwotena fi teacher for kura you say be national service but president mama so oba obi make sure say we training college straight obeko akwashade onko national service bia
anya wa na oka say more upgrading to a tertiary institution. Yes, in your degree awarding institution you have to do national service.
Teachers,
the National Service Act is clear.
The teachers teachers they new teachers they say even those who went to a friend say University of Cape Coast near their work they are taken straight into the friends and schools and they start teaching. Colleges of education, they were not doing national service.
Because
they leave school and then they go and teach.
The National Service Act says we are tertiary institution now. You have to do national service.
But
you know that better than I do.
It can be integrated into it. You go into the classroom and that 1 year or 2 years could be classified as part of your national service. And it doesn't spoil anything.
And only the Amomo person more. Yeah, that's what you will be doing. And if you say no better.
Yeah, it's bad. Because other now obi okra no most of them call colleges of education. We okra mo kira dia omo wi a.
Omo call out
no mo call top up. No call teaching part no mo ba. Obi bebre okra mo schools. A mo kira dia no mo call omo wi a. Onipa no call kira dia dada. Obi okra o payroll su dada. And now on steady leave no aba. They don't necessarily have to go and do friends and national service. They come back and teach straight away.
In the licensing you don't think it's a good thing? Say teacher for ebetro exams, edianya license to teach or my professional teachers. My promise is mobile year no so free.
Well, my understanding is that there are so many ways by which you can assess the teacher. Now what to me, I'm on a license, not the actual day. Without necessarily saying, say, walk to school. Ya examine. More pass of final exams. My amount, other say teacher's diploma, the amount, what graduated from university.
Yes.
No, be say, one pass licensure examination when you teacher. Until the decision is that should not prevent you from becoming a professional teacher. But they must find some other ways, sir. You have to be assessed. Once you are doing the work, they will assess you and then certify you, and then you go ahead and teach. Until you can say exams, then we examination, and yeah, will be they are there 4 years. No about a professional teacher. One day cannot determine whether you can be a professional teacher or not. I think that a more sustained assessment of your work as a teacher to monitor you and finally certify you will be better than one day going to sit down there. So, you don't have the license to teach. I don't think that's the best.
But sir, no, they won't mean no teacher from. You should do that for nurses. You should do that for doctors.
That is not the best.
Doctor the end so.
Me say that is not the best. One day exams may prevent you from becoming a teacher.
But one day exams are preventing Kofu from becoming doctors and nurses. Because when we go through licensure, the same process.
But I'm saying that you can have a better way of assessing the teachers and getting them and certifying them without using one day.
But say, the politics at China for you personally, meaning say, are you a trained teacher?
I'm a trained teacher.
We a trained teacher. And for you personally, say, teacher for your licenses, go through retro licensure exam, your license. Now you say you need fake teacher. Yeah, we a teacher also renew a license. Say the doctor say yeah, nurse say yeah, lawyers say yeah, and yeah, mammo professional.
See, I feel that use a broader way of dealing with licensing of teachers because we met me no passing. But in terms of ethical and moral and other things, no. Oye nemo basa. Ohwe kra man and qualify and say obejina was a role model because every teacher must be a role model.
Yeah, that's true.
So what you say?
That's true.
They must find some other means of assessment. Ethical, moral issues, your character and everything, your teaching practice, your punctuality, and everything must be encapsulated. At the end of the day, no, a better way of assessing and certifying teachers than using one day
license exam.
That's my personal view.
Okay.
Because I'm a teacher.
Okay.
And I've also gone through the process. I've also gone through the training. Now, Mijidi said, I was a good teacher. I was a good teacher. I was teaching engineering at St. Paul's Technical School, mechanical engineering.
Really?
And I was a good teacher.
St. Paul's School, Krantula.
Yes.
Okay, Richard Mills, Tema West constituency organizer. Say, Obi, the E-block in Sakomono has never been abandoned, that is being claimed by Honorable Ofosu Ampofo. Upon assumption into office by the NPP government and Honorable Carlos, the block was only about 40% complete. Through the effort of Honorable Carlos, the block has been completed and it was done last year, and he personally bought mono desks and all the office desks and chairs for teachers and administrative staff. The NP also pushed for students to be placed in the school. As we speak, there are Form 1s in that school. If not for COVID, those children would have moved to the next class. And also currently, the enrollment is now 150 students, and they also enjoy one hot meal a day. Or the pictures any are there account of the monodexa Honorable Carlos at the Coma school. No?
But it is is it the responsibility of the MP
of the
to provide decks for E-block? E-block is a huge facility.
Yes.
It's a huge facility.
By MP NATO in this case.
But I'm saying that, so it then reinforces my position. Say, if you open it and if you have 100 students there, by 3-4 years time, you'll be populating the schools. But I don't know of this position because the last time that I went there were no students.
There were no students in there. Okay, do we know? Or the pictures?
It was completed. In fact, I don't think that was 40% complete. When we left, it was almost completed. I mean, that's my constituency, and I used to pass there always. And maybe I make my father several times, and I done year almost 2 to 3 years in year done.
Okay.
And if last year I have not seen it because the last time that I visited there were no students in the school.
But in the Honorable Samuel Ofosu Ampofo and no AD in common. Okay. You are not?
I'm not disputing what he's saying.
Okay, great. And Mr. Mills, we are constituency organizer for Tema West. Thank you for this. Hopefully, the pictures will go to Jackson. We're putting it up now. Who said the Nyoma is echo. But we might have to move away from education because young common and a dorsal. And under a month,
education. I come in. Sorry.
Okay.
When you say NDC nkwan eba etimi set up universities.
Meaning?
Oh, yeah, be universities be NDC ne be. Say President Rollins by na University of Development Studies or then the $50,000 Hunger Project Award and of the Start University of Development Studies, and I spread it from Tamale to Wa to Navrongo campus northern sector ni na CCM so omanya full-fledged university status. Professor Mills EBBA University of Health and Allied Sciences and University of University of Health and Allied Sciences and the University of Energy and Natural Resources.
It was one, right?
Yeah. President Mahama Ebayen OBBA University of Environment and Sustainable Development.
So many.
And another campus called Donko Krum. And another for Dubai and say Omuyi school na free Donko Krum at the I don't know how it has fared because me home so much, but at least and do so many. You see one of the most beautiful edifices of a modern university. President Mahama and Sanwo Juma.
But won't you applaud this government for continuing, staying by the plan and getting edifices?
The funding has already been sought. Sikani nani yenya charter university charter no krano Professor Nana Poko Ajima and a decor parliament Emma university charter and the Sikani na eje. Enti well they didn't have a choice but to complete it. But I'm saying that even at that we are give credit to where
credit is due.
Oko be school no. Do you know that the member of parliament for the area the other time when I was speaking to him, he was not invited to be part of the commissioning process. It's very sad.
So many
country. Yes. Say school now President Mama na who bibia. In America they say na elevation of all these technical universities near the our records in education there say edutwam who be say ada president na Akufo do atimi aya ne say yes see ada no nam no name schools no kwa say me name after Jato Kalio me name after we say me name after we yanke person ko wie ba ho no wie no no adidi ato so but 4 years when timi ansi ba ho no ya ne so kwa no asesa din no de ono ani din de akwa apoto so somebody was even telling me say University of Ghana Kronya because say din no. But there was some resistance.
But I don't think that the point is university behind this if one see includes Legon and UCC.
No, I'm saying sir, the traditional universities now University of Ghana.
Yeah.
Come University of Science and
University of Cape Coast.
We no free.
Yes.
Tell me other universities nearby and Ababa and the DBC including the University of Education Winneba was elevated from specialist training college by President Rawlings and then elevated.
Made a full university.
Under the NDC.
But the MPP can argue, say Takwa School of Mines, so I'm going to university.
Takwa School of Mines was already a university. Affiliated to the... You know I attended school there?
Yes, I know.
Yes. It was a university
affiliated to Tech.
Affiliated to KNU.
But a full-fledged university.
It was a university already.
No, but
it was not. You started university, you are building it from the scratch, and you build university. And what's something you can... I don't have something very simple. So be about say, me starting university from the scratch. No, my friend, University of Health and Allied Sciences, University of Energy and Natural Resources, Bono, Sunyane, University of Development Studies, Tamale, and in the Vrongo. I don't know. I can say, hi MPP in Chile, back home, started from the scratch. Takwa School of Mines.
University affiliated to Tech.
University of Science and Technology, University of Mineral Resources.
Yes.
How do school?
At the time, Michelle was certificate, so Tech logo also.
Also, Tech logo.
But see how we school or Tech logo.
And I may say, so that university before I was living there, no, university, yes, see, Edru baby, and the house of residence near the now what me say one try say my basi university. From the scratch, me make a so to mra. What you see, I would too. Me say, ya co University of Health and Allied Sciences. Ya see before honum, as I could be another campus or why. And then so many, ya see university, I fully fledged university. And next union, your university or honum. Wa Bolga Navrongo. Nina your universities our honum. And now me be say. MPP in Chile University back home we see from the scratch on Bekasi Yakotudi. Now, obviously University another over. Obi I want the ban now they also
would you credit the MPP with Obuasi campus of Tech?
I won't credit them because I have information to give you. Say, Sir, KNUS to Obuasi campus. Yeah. Everything was done under President Mahama's regime, and I'll give you all the records as we go on if you like. Okay. I'll give you all the records. na ne ya ne se obekwa ko bia no akokora wo fa credit emo bia se ono ye eda wo bia no ye menua a no ye MC wo Zuba brought me all the information because no ye MC wo and was starting adwuma ne ye bibia Zuba brought me all the information baby o mo share free baby o mo ko wie baby o do ya ansa na ya ban free so enya MPP and started sa KNUST campus in Obuasi. And I would dare and challenge anybody because all the information is here. And I will screw or the brand me because no me otakwa me call Obuasi and a program be na Zuba ye say Sadia no obema me information and that omo ye ya no send information in the brand me. Sorry, I'll give it to you. Maybe you can pull it.
Once you go through, my main kind message is kaka in a bare 2 minutes. And then we make progress. But we say, the chairman of Ofosu Ampofo taught me at St. Paul's, and he was. Don't find out.
Oh, you're correct.
No, final say, Honorable Ofosu Ampofo was our worst teacher ever. Secondly, as a former student, can he really tell me? Okay, that is not important.
I can put it on record. Say, I was teaching general engineering class.
Yeah.
All my class will be a passive with distinctions. They can call and tell you.
Wow. Obi, please come to Donkokrom, a village called Memchemfre. We have one of the fully completed E-block schools built by former President Mahama. Students are posted from Takrade, Labadi, Sefi to school over there. The students rent for themselves and pay utility bills. Their transportation alone can pay them their school fees. Please, is this free? SHS and Ananado, kindly send your men here and see how the students are suffering. Akins Ofori, NDC Constituency Communications Officer, Ebuakwa South Constituency. Good afternoon, Obi. NDC was in power for 8 years, and we, the people of Mayera, never saw any developmental project. But under Nanado, the show boy, we can boast of a 12-unit classroom block. We won't sell our colored TV for black and white. Form of Anana to do more. Leo, Ewa Mayera, inside Amasaman. Good afternoon, Obi. I keep hearing the NDC talk about building hospitals all over Ghana, which isn't bad anyway, but kindly ask, bro, if a patient is paid monthly salaries after visiting hospitals, ask him to name just one developed country that focused on building hospitals instead of building industries. The alternative is indeed weak, my brother. Vote Nana 1 to speed up the industrialization agenda of our beloved country. John Bat Adu, Ohio, in US of A. And on the way, Abba. Obi, I'm a trained teacher from Wesley College. During my time, I never took money from my parent because of the allowance. So for the NDC to cancel that was a monumental error, as that deprived many students their livelihood. Charles Quaten and on the way, Abba. We say, Obi, ask Honorable Ofosu Ampofo for which training college he attended. Okay, maybe he'll tell us later. Then there is no need for teacher trainees to write end of course exams since they have gone through 3 or 4 years training. What kind of logic is that? Message is no endorso. James Kwabena Bonfe says, Obi, please remind my good friend Honorable Ofosu Ampofo that the schools he cites are built under Nkrumah. Okay, the school he cites as built under Nkrumah at outskirts were planned and operated as boarding schools, not day schools which were poorly conceived and sited around. Worse, they are not sincere about their claims of abandonment. It has been debunked without number, but they seem to be in their own world. Tell Honorable Ofosu Ampofo, if he doesn't take care, he might soon claim that but for Rollins and the NDC, there won't be Ghana. What he should also be telling us is how NDC misled Ghana for years. James Kwabena Bonfe and Odiwe Abba. Message is also, let me come back, Honorable, say, when who are... Okay.
A letter that was addressed to the Vice Chancellor, KNUST. The letterhead is a College of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Kwame University of Science and Technology. And I'll say, this letter was written on 14th October 2014.
14th October 2014. Okay.
I am pleased to update you on the reconnaissance visit that I undertook with some architects of the Office of Director of Works to Obuasi on Thursday, October 9, 2014, accompanied by 2 architects, Mr. Seth K. Yabua and Mr. Alexander K. Edufu. We got to the Obuasi Municipal Assembly about 11 a.m. and I'll continue. If it will not disturb you, I'll just give you some little information on just a moment. Technology. Now, I'll say, led by the municipal engineers, we went to the old administration area, which the AGA had released to the OMA to be used as the premises for the startup of the Obuasi campus of KNUST. There was a brief introductory meeting, and 2 AGA officials, namely Nana Ampofo, blah, blah, blah. And I'll say, the facility is completely built area that could comfortably and adequately house a new vision of the sought envisaged. It is the entire administrative area comprising several departmental offices, conference rooms, washrooms, residential accommodation, and so on and so forth. I'm just telling you that.
And wait, a letter from who to who?
This letter was written from the College of Agriculture and Natural Resources to the Vice Chancellor. Just updating them on the state of work and the state of preparedness of the. As far back as 2014, that Obuasi campus was in place. And I'm sure I'll forward it to you and you see all the details. And if you like, Minua Zuba, I know MC will tell you and give you all the details. Enti enya de fofora MPP akwakoye wo ho no mo akase mo commission. President Mahama nsan no adwuma. Na wo ko ba bi na se obi ya President Mahama, President Mercy ya mane ye fe. Emra President Kufo started N1 project. Na when we are President Mahama Mercy be we no ofre no so minua panyi. Ma wie wo na sha adwuma wa yase. Brana yen commission no. Fe. And they to Obasanjo. FPSO. Knows when you buy. I made the FPSO, no crown FPSO at the 2 President Kufo. That is what leadership is about. Leadership is about building national consensus and then cohesion. But so beko baby obi aye bibi na kwa say men kase. And I know say one to mean commission terminal 3 because on nya baby nkoka. Ope baby obeka say bia nkroma ayi say buzi atam na say bi say na okọ wa say buzi atam na water project started here okọ wa say look Obuasi a friend say hospital you could be no
be quiet no
say it was
40 years
it was started by a friend saying a champion. But yes. I just cross-checked with Honorable Muntaka. All the funding na was under Mills President Mahama administration. And project.
But it doesn't take away the fact,
but so you don't go there. You don't go there and give credit to a champion. What has a champion done on that project? Because I have been in Bakwai and Makot Takwa Hospital. Yes. I know President Mills. And President Mama Bayo Betwaso. All the Sikomoji, the baby or Mulezi Kosi now went to me Kokasi a champion. You go there and you disingenuously say a champion now crediting for a hospital that President Mahama and Mills have bent their back to put up. It is disingenuous. No, it is not good.
You doubt the fact that hospital has been on the drawing board since a champion time.
Put it in perspective. Put it in perspective. Temaport, Ewoho, Nkrumah Nesi. And so under President Mahama, I was the board chairman when we were tasked to look for funding for the expansion of the Temaport project.
Yeah.
Do you know that it was not our balance sheet in the negotiating and this is at Temaport in this year. And so when you baby and fan can say beer, you starting over it still has not been commissioned.
You're moving on from education.
And you see, it is very, very important to send them away. Bekwai Hospital. A friend is saying, Tepa Hospital.
But those are part of the Eurojet project.
These are projects that you need to credit President Mahama for what he has done. Unfortunately,
and leave who out? Leave Kufo out?
Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, yes. No. You see, the people in those catchment areas.
No, but you would also be disingenuous. I will say for Tepa and all those hospitals.
President Kufuor
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But based on that, we negotiated with Irojet to bring new projects under Irojet. That doesn't mean that it was honored Irojet for project by, but Irojet has done, including some other health centers near Vienna under President Mahama. Irojet Babesi. But you can't give all that credit to President Kufuor because he brought them. But we can say it's President Kufuor not Irojet for Edibai. And I'm saying, sir, President Mahama did it. President Mills did it. I recognize it, sir. As soon as you wait in the chassis and I'm about better. I don't know what to do, baby. Open, sir. Or he be called President Mahama Kran started and Albert was one. Ubuafu now Uchia for us. I mean, I know see a money.
On credit will be your chassis here. That's all credit here. Champion. I was here, man, in credit here. Champion. That champion is us, yeah.
1974. What was the state of that hospital? Well, I am happy saying for now.
Yes.
Nipa or buy, ni obedi asobo from. Ni odi project ni buy ni obeye ho aduma me sure say enipa oktakwa omo wo friend say bekwai omo wo friend say tepa omo nim ni aka no so omo nya ye no so ukokwawu a ukofomena ukokumawu na akohwe ba bia da ye yedu kuma me sheda si ye akohwe kumawu district hospital ba bia esi any the state of abandonment kokofomena ko ayi abetifi. These are areas of Matuaba men people Tuabama. Now Jamia Buada President Mahama started district hospital more. Now about 4 years was my abandonment.
The last time I called for Mina Dabain.
Oh, just recently. Many animate call for Mina. I'm saying 2 months. 1 month to
there was no contract on site.
Me say Nancy, you go there. There are a few people there, but 4 years. Baby, I drew a Kumawu crowd there, far away coaching our crowd there. Let me say security for Nipa Krabi or Honam say, Omo, declared a BUG also. You see, you don't do that because look at the number of years I was on. Anka, 4 years you buy, no. So go and baby, I'm always say, someone to cron. Oma to Obama. For me, for Kumawu for, and a friend say, Abitifi for. Now, Abba no be a starting hospital, man. Like everybody will be we at their mom. And then no, I mean, when I passed through Sagram housing project, now we have any accommodation a problem. Now 4 years I don't see or no business me him. Yeah, you 4 years I don't need to mean.
Honorable, in all honesty, you've been a member of parliament before. Say Parliament has approved $200 million for 5,000 unit houses. Now say a buy for Fraba. Almost 94% of the money is spent. Now less than 1,200 housing units. You think any cost for worry?
So
I was say and where are you getting the money from to go and complete?
I am saying that the project was an ongoing project. And so are you saying, sir, so what Badao say will be started the Sagrame project is look 2016. The state and that's Sagrame project. And one that's woman. I hope so. Meet me in your picture.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And no, that's been 4 years. Investigation, but now in 4 years, I will bar. Won't mean your investigation, my own man for this Sagrame housing project.
Yeah, that's it.
So we'll come rest next year.
Yeah,
this is the project almost completed. Now at least 4 years.
It was to build 5,000 housing units.
So if the 5,000 is not there, not 1,000 or 1,200 or what, we 1,200 now accommodation problem for one.
When 200 million is gone,
so go ahead and find out where that money is. You cannot tell me say 4 years, you know, we investigation for 4 years. Now, independent be informed. How can you justify this? Go ahead and complete it. Project view of Banner say you started. They are able to negotiate additional funding to complete it. Whilst if people have squandered the money, there are processes to deal with it. But Ghana for be informed. Do you know how much money went into it? Assuming say Okojisika was neat and number bimpo and the complete and for daho and no mutia and now the payment no offsetting sikana Okoji. You are solving two problems. You are solving the accommodation problem and then the financial loss that this edifice has suffered as a result of 9 years. You are averting it. That is what we call good governance. Good governance in the book. It is practice. That is what good governance. The best thing you can do is that you have a situation where you can finish 1,200 housing units. No magana for baby no de ontiato. No be edisikana for baby. use the legal processes to deal with that matter. But you don't abandon it under the guise you say, may you now 4 years now for never be informed with into. What kind of governance system is that? This is bad governance.
My main kind message is Kakobi Busa say training college bena if you are minded to want to answer that.
Oh, so what do you say? Training college is there. Ninda affiliated to University of Cape Coast.
Oh, okay.
But I was at my girlfriend Kumasi campus of University of
Education Winneba. Okay, Kumasi campus.
Because I did advanced friends education.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Me near friend non-professional teachers. Until o try de kakra no akwa professional course, then you become a professional teacher.
Okay.
Until so be person who say Kumasi campus no I want to be education.
Okay. We say in 2001 the School of Mines in Takwa was granted a college status as Western University College of KNUST. In November 2007, the college became the University of Mines and Technology by the University of Mines and Technology Takwa Act 2004 Act 1677 and Obidiaba. Thank you for that information. Let me see.
And you see, the argument there was not about how the school metamorphosed to become a fully fledged university.
Absolutely.
My argument is that you are starting universities from the scratch. I bet me accredited university.
Okay. Let me see. We say, Obi, I am not disputing the fact that building schools are important, but if you build a school and people can't afford to attend, what have you achieved? Our forefathers studied under trees and are now doctors, lawyers, ministers, etc. So what is Honorable Ampofo talking about? Mahama will never come to power today, neither tomorrow. Rainbow Ewo Kaswa. Let me see the other ones. Anthony Nupeno, good afternoon to you. Mijise Bibia Ekoye. We say, Obi, ask him, did they finish Kofo's affordable housing project in 8 years? Abdul Malik Kwekubako. And on the way about
the program Kwakuba Kwam answer not just mama.
Okay, Lawyer Messiah, secondary constituency MP, or say, Obi, ask Honorable Ampofo, what did the NDC do with the affordable housing started by President Kuffour? They abandoned it for 8 years. And now what is he telling us? Into Lawyer Mesa, Edia or de Abba and no.
Let me correct that quickly.
But before that,
let me correct that quickly. Say that we never abandoned affordable housing. But Kumbi was friend say motorway extension. It's part of my constituency. And Sunday you free no more we a number of that housing unit. No more starting and for the application. It is not true. It's not true. It is not true that we abandoned it. It was almost completed because there was an arrangement that SNIT was brought on board. And most of the housing projects, but
SNIT was brought on board around 2015, 2016.
But I'm saying that so it was not abandoned. It was almost completed.
You are complaining about obeying the SU for 4 years.
It was completed. And some year free hodum. But when it comes to housing, you know, say in terms of housing, NDC stands tall in terms of housing. And now Adenta, everything Adenta is about us. Everything Sakumono is about us. Every regional capital be a SNIT housing unit. You will be your home. When it comes to housing, we are second to none. We have built houses across the length and breadth of this country. And in our manifestos, they say, no, President Mahama, a committee no Jose, Obama district assemblies, I go into rural housing. No more to I see at least 50 houses within a year. Now they are workers so many a day. I think 20 or 50 houses within a year. No more they are the assemblies itself no. Buana yet me as you see a dance and a teacher for any workers more under the decentralized department. Very simple, affordable houses.
Honorable, in the case of Saglemi, we've been told, sir, there are issues which are being investigated. In the case of the Kuffour affordable housing project, we were not informed, say, issues be our more. So can you justify why they were there for 7 years?
There were very, very serious issues.
With Kofoa?
Yes, there were very, very serious issues. A lot of the contractors had abandoned the project. If you like, Frobia, why you had more ministry or documentation on the housing project, most of the contractors abandoned the projects. These are Kofodia, one was started during the Ofosu time. Contractors now abandoned projects. That was the time where you say, oh yeah, Jumano Krana, baby or house or koto building materials in free a particular store. Now what they call Juma. Contractors never abandoned project. There are issues. And I know there are issues because I was in the Eastern region. I know why that housing scheme no Eastern region has been stalled. After now, contractors a big friends say mobilization money are there. They started something and they were nowhere to be found.
Ma ye moving ko other areas. Meaning say we local government minister. That one idea campaign ye mo akoso ye mo promise to pay assembly members. And then I recall say Omampenyi share Greater Accra Association of Assembly Members. We share National Association of Assembly Members. Ewo Jubilee House. And after that, all kind stories a free meeting in mobile. The assembly members present were convinced the NPP administration is the administration who cater for assembly members near more livelihood, near more welfare. A be a resident issue, some more than this payment of assembly members 2012 manifesto, you couldn't do it. Why should they believe you now?
The evidence on the ground and support to near Omoye and Rano. And Omoye one of the NDC manifesto Juma Sisi. Because MPP manifesto will be a name near Umusisi. Reaction be our MPP for the year towards NDC manifesto.
Asempa FM.
And I go for the better now about a commercial 4 years in you. Only a 7 months for each other. And one casa for payment. NDC in the Atenase. During a consultation, now people's manifesto. Yeah, speaker sessions. You move in your assembly system for the past 20-something years. No, I have been part of the assembly system from 1992. BC. I can say, no. I'm about parliament. I could say, bear local government. Make my money in local governance. So, we shall buy my commitment to local governance at NDC. To the extent, say, do baby, no. Now, you better be a friend of IMCC, Interministerial Coordinating Committee on Decentralization. And the key decentralized ministries in Abeshas here, and it was under the chairmanship of the president. And when the more decentralization started say here, because baby how we do no, non for say local government minister, not than super minister. Because we be a ministry of agric, but about district here, or say local governance as here. Obi Ministry of Health, or say local governance. Obi Ministry of Education, or say it was creating an impression as a local government minister, and a super minister, because we are minister only in Accra, we do region, now do a friend say district. What you mean now about local governance as here? Into your IMCC, no. Send a better president and be chair. Now, sir, 4 or 5 ministries in Nabi who say, they are not doing it under the local government minister, but they are doing it under the office of the president in the IMCC, no, at the Bay. Your time and you migrate about 30,000 workers. Every friend says civil service at one bar, local government service, and you started establishment of the local government service, and you local government institute. And the local government service are responsible for the promotion and then development, transfer, and everything of people who are working in the local government system. Your time, and President Mahama, eto motorbikes, 2011. And every assembly member be a MPP assembly member, NDC assembly member, it was under my auspices as local government.
Yeah, but 2011 was Mills. Mills was president then.
Yeah, me say it was President Mahama the Bayes presentation forecourt of the State House. And those of you who remember no, riding motor back once or hand over more. It's a buying what show commitment to this assembly concept now. NDC. And now I say MPP buy and common fund 7.5 no. Or much just about 5%. 5% no crowd no. Or my capus can be brave man. It can be in assembly. This is super fraud. This is not normal casa. Because there is nothing to show on the ground. Say, this assembly, no, this is what they are doing to address the challenges of the people. No, matis cutting now, so a couple no, they are to central. And the decentralization, no, it has no meaning. It is a President Mahama court no quiet the manifesto, no assembly members here. No assembly members, much more, you know. Mahusa Jumana Ding. It you know, in addition to motor, you offer the mamma, your baby wa, your mamma monthly allowance, you bet you are Mamma Juma specific Juma mobile. One of the things I have more mind is a better tablets. Eddie Amomunina or electoral areas, no.
All assembly members.
All assembly members.
You have be a tablet,
computer, near a laptop, near their mom. Now, ya configured in such a way so obi awa e wo electoral area mu ha near fraud one kono register one. Now what transfer data no dey about births and death registry until we give them some work to do until births and death will be part of the activities assembly members no e be undertaking.
But it still doesn't answer the question, sir. No, in 2012, you made a specific promise to them to pay them monthly allowance. You didn't do it.
I am saying, sir, we started because we even went ahead and gave them facilities that will enhance the work that they are doing. And as I say, no critical, clear, sir, you bet you at the end of every month. In fact, my main country say places like TMA, NAAMA, they started TMA, they started the monthly allowance that they were giving to the assembly members. Some of them started because it was based on ability to pay because it didn't meet generative resources.
No,
but they say they are seeing from the central government.
It meaning say you are enrolling all assembly members onto your friend said the public payroll.
Central government because I don't know they want money papa say or money developer. Now MPs babetna I friend said you omuka assembly man so eye campaign bre adechie bia ye ball pon wo ye obi o assembly member no kan say obi wo kra ya be for say be fa ambulance na fa no ko. It's a brass to say your calculation it will not cost much. We have just about 8,000 electoral areas. It will not cost much to give them monthly. Nana Akufo-Addo you committed to it. He is just reacting to your manifesto. Ama popo bribri achiwoma enunti ene ye ka okada no makushi okada for ye ka asem no makushi asem for. What is in their manifesto? Manifesto near the year debate say did they make any commitment to payment of assembly members in their manifesto? And then you have called them to tell them say well now you are better placed to pay them when you have not committed yourself in your manifesto. Say ubetuyamuka. Enti na mpesa make say President Akufo-Addo any commitment be his commitment to decentralization and local governance is nothing to write home about compared to what we have done under the regime of President Rawlings, President Mills, and then President Mahama.
President Mahama. Maminya we claim, him say currently in the Local Government Act, no, there is an arrangement to assembly depending on the strength of IGF, no, utimiye bibi Emma allowances to assembly members at your level. In free soro Emma. You are saying, say, what you are promising when they say, enye sawe na mode beye adwuma. Now monthly salaries for assembly members from the top.
Yeah, there will be a central consolidated year because you see assembly bill ha or your fufro. You know, the IGF for crampono and not the other survival. Yes. So we cannot do it like that. So we want to support them so that they can be very effective and efficient. Now, person make assembly for 8 years and say Nana Akufo-Addo MPP, they don't have any commitment to yesterday meeting. It's a knee-jerk reaction to NDC manifesto now. Assemblyman for Najatum, Emma President Mahama, the filing of nomination. Central region concerned assembly members. They brought 10,000 Ghana cedis. As part of the filing fees because the vision for assemblyman decentralization. That is what will save them. But me say no more MPP attack. Assembly no your non-partisan assembly. You for party assembly. It is almost MPP attack then teachers no more ya. Na just say pro MPP assembly members no more meeting. That one doesn't have anything to do with the system that has been set up for say the assemblies are non-partisan and approaching these issues are not done with partisan colors. Enti na ye buy ya chiche motorbikes no. Ya nyiyuma nka say assembly bi o have no MPP national constituency chairman. And so you man motorbike. Because the AGD say assembly is non-partisan and must be treated aside. It's so almost a t-shirt I got on a Akufo-Addo and say on no share. Now say MPP for no share and yet non-partisan assembly, so to speak, in its true sense, and the choir no question.
Assembly member be a UTO our person are convinced. I'll say Makaimu 2012 manifesto, Moshe Yambo, more intimidating. So I didn't mean you municipality. Then I'll be catching.
Say, O man, say. ade a yɛntimi nyɛ no yɛnka yɛahwɛ numbers no yɛahwɛ figures no yɛnim sɛ wohwɛ resources a yɛ budget for local government na yɛsɛ yɛbɛma wɔn some allowance at the end of every month from the center. It will not be too difficult for us to pay, and we know we are committed.
Was it difficult then to pay?
Well, I'm talking about what is in our future and what we intend doing.
But it's about the credibility of the promise.
The credibility is that we are very credible because and I'm saying that what we did, during my time as local government minister, we even went ahead to say, and need local banks some arrangement to be before the common fund is released, banks a friend saying sika because said so that their projects could be executed. Project we have a check and send it to your car. Now price now escalate. We're spending more than that. When we did it and said, some local bank be intervening funding arrangement. Kakra to your man is lower than the a friend saying contract overruns because of delay in payment. Yeah. We did all these things, and we did so many other things in the local government sector. We introduced the a friend saying urban grant. We introduced the urban grant. We introduced what we called the functional organization assessment tool. Yeah. And the assessing all of them were done under our auspices. And so we deepened decentralization and local government system in Ghana. This time round, well, I don't want to, I don't know what is happening there. But the assembly members themselves, assembly from say, NDC better manages the local government system than the MPP.
Obi, please let Honorable Ofosu Ampofo tell us, is it salaries or allowances they will be given to assembly members? I think it's clear. I'll say allowances. Meaning, say, SNIT will not be paid on that.
Allowances.
Allowances, okay. Ma mention Obi, please ask Mr. Ofosu Ampofo that why didn't they do all these things in 8 years? I think he's responded to that. Larry Dogbe says, please ask Kweku Bakwe Japamesa if the Kufuor affordable houses they are talking about are the same ones President Kufuor's ministers and appointees allegedly grabbed for themselves and their in-laws and friends even before they were completed. I think the records are there. Larry Dogbe. Obi, Parliament in August 2019 approved a €2 million facility towards the completion of the Bekwai Hospital, which started 4 decades ago. It is never an initiative of former President Mahama to even say the Tepa Aerojet Hospital is an effort of Mahama is laughable. Look, even the Rage Hospital was initiated by the late Mills and had cabinet approval before his demise. The facts are there for all to read. Tell the national chairman to be sincere with us for God's sake. Jamaluddin and Onodiwe Abba. This one says, issues affected completion of Kufuor housing project for 8 years, and the same person was insisting that Akufo-Addo should continue the Saglemi in spite of the challenges. Abdul Malik Kweku Bako. By his analysis, I'm more convinced now, more than ever, that NDC has no clue about improving our educational system. Ofosu Ampofo suggestions show he is out of touch with educational policies and how the free SHS and computer placement systems work. This should tell us how it will end, should they be able to win power. Starsky, New York, in US of A. This one says, affordable housing was not attached to any funding. After assessment and payment made to all contractors, old government under Mahama handed all of them over to SNIT. That's why today, President Akufo-Addo goes around saying he's commissioning them. Anthony Nukpenu, and or the statement be send them a concerned elected assembly members of Ghana, or say NPP Greater Accra Regional Youth Organizer Moses Abo teams up with imposters to scam President Akufo-Addo with assembly members' endorsement. Oh.
Because assembly members MPP t-shirt equal to us there. No, just say, some members.
Acquire friend Ziad Musa, on his spokesperson, then son but we'll come back to this statement subsequently. And was a Jim Rena Mitime, a kind who said, yeah, near my basic Ako. Obi, why don't you bring Napo and Dr. Educhum to face Honorable Ofosu Ampofo over the free SHS and their e-blocks? After all, he wants a debate, doesn't he? The e-blocks supposed to be in Aseke, which is in their green book, is not there. Ofosu Ampofo, there was no campus at Obuasi in 2014. Very soon, you would say even the NDC built Dansoman Estate. Edwin Phillips, Ewa Takrade, and on the way Abba. Let's move on. Now, I'm told we have somebody on the phone lines. I don't know who that person is. Okay, Elijah Adanse Bona. Elijah Adanse Bona ye Obuasi MCE. Chairman Mebao. Elijah Akwaba, apom to saying.
Yo, me do see Obi, me who ya
To say, also was some quick points to make here on Komo Ayedi.
Sapi Pepe.
Mamintio, quick.
Yeah, me tell you for me. Me to say a chairman Ofosu Ampofo, say 2014, and I almost started University Campus, Obuasi. The former Konya is Namaka,
me bacho, Ebiana. Obi na year report na ma wa wanka almost started campus no 2014 was it 2014 no a team from KNUST by inspection of facilities and as a proposed facility I know person omodi campus no by inspection wo just to make the point say it is something that started before the NPP came to power.
No, Obi me na metie no dia metie ya antimedi we no say I say a former president John Mahama and a shasi tinka ye bie kra nka yem frɛ no na nka omomra metena mu sɛ de omoda hye bibi saase ɛna me make say
da bi ɛna me ba ɛna make say o hye ase na o kan yɛ sɛ o hye ase sɛ school na ready ma school for ekomu the processes to create a campus there no okay
different things.
Okay,
yes, 2014 2015 me be assembly member etina mo fi ho no mutini san be ho no ma me di na me yo boss ni asa na mo boss get you say yani e wo boasi na Awka Training College na de bia yaka say Yadansi University eti ye nyina ye nyina no e wo bia ni so say oboasi si enya university na e boy MP sa ba twa obi aka enti am logo for e ye o ma bin say on be so mo reduce on footprint na o mo japade e wo northern mine because northern mine obi oni mo boasi bia no Toy Town anto boasi ho no wa se baby Vanguard for wo no Didie so baby almost say ni bi wa northern mines no omo ya so mu je mu dia ma ban nti am omo throw proposal and the then minister said local land and natural resources minister na owo ho no omo inform me omo say omo assets bi omo person omo relinquish edema government it omo say no omo di sa de no ho kita ho now eno ko dai and ATF no e make proposal say so omo relinquish assets in the government omo propose say omo fanya university campus sabre no and not the leadership of the assembly as at the time no omo ne AGF on intem na galam say issues ni ade enti no sa de na timi ankoso smoothly enti ma the then MCE honorable Zuba okaso bond ekọ na Srifia Sari we continue ma omo ko pass ase na omo dey start omo angasa university eti omo ko radio so so ye start university eti na ye nim say university no dey ye be start ya no and ye di sa dey antishi eti bi MC 2017 May ana mi hu letter bi a MD of Anglo Gold Mr. Eric Subontain date 22nd March 2017 ana AGF4 edit letter come aban say afa die notification on the ma say on person on relinquish on assets no afa no my proposal and be wi to on dey ma aban no say dey be ya on dey be di juma bi on pe sa brother land na on ka so on ko jo shares no the buy na me call hene ho no hene ne ka tell me say mo de ma no na be di ano say mo person be jihad university campus so mo ko ya ma bi o na tibi aka say assembly ho ye ni design ba ko e kire say bi assembly no yes, so Baba rehabilitation be and over baby. Omo de yoma no eko kan ye. E ma na nanom yes asase ne mu nkomro ma ma bi o. Eti me na nane kan for no ka tell me say.
And when ye year ben no.
When year 2017 me be MC.
No, me ka baby me ka de omo de omo no be kan ya omo ama bio no.
That was 2014.
Okay.
Enti no e ba say omo ki so omo abesi omo de won hie so no. Omo anya ho hwi bio. There is no budget at assembly. Local government minister, Honorable Ofosu Ampofo, I think why be that assembly, where you are CBA no, and so your budget. There somewhere September, no your budget for the ensuing year, no I implement it. They say there is no budget at assembly. I may call you, many say assembly budget is say you have a university campus in the just say at the nothing like that.
Ba me pacho, inti CCR Diana na do ko be no. Was it an assembly project?
Yes, an assembly project. Mamika, me buy anona ye ni can me ne honorable amewu. That time no the lands and resources minister. Me call the was man the pressure say ye proposal na AG ISA ye factory town and your university campus no. Me person FM. Ana ye reshuffle no ma okọ energy. Ana honorable so much me buy. Ana me say call the was sa me enche obo asu mienu. And I'm calling what's an affair, yes, or the Beko cabinet, I'm a cabinet of approval. But you was an AG from 24 and say, or when you let a free minister, lands and natural resources, so normal as much as me say, government are accepting assets now, AG are relinquished or toy town. It's a bit in your coso, they are starting university campus. It's a honorable, and yes, setting up establishment committee. I mean, I'm your chairman. Dr. Muntaka of Kenya is a member. Professor Gozu a member. AGS rep. Professor Dako a member. Nananum reps no more so. And I had started to Kenya Works Department. And your boss Municipal Assembly Works Department. And Omukabo, no we a bill of quantities. And you say a budget ma. And now of course a budget ma. But we say Kenya campus. You will see more. You did a rehabilitation of the Kaya facility of Mampeni and another Danko Kufuado. Or baby no. We are not saying, sir, there was no discussion as at 2014 now, all canon. But those letters are not more true. No more true because I'm not AGA for not notify government. Sir, on the summer relinquish your more assets. Now, instead saying letter nanka AGA the proposal, no more approval so that government bet me use some facilities. They didn't do it.
Okay, but would you agree? And fortunately for you, King Zuba or predecessor Naba, so I would pick him briefly. But Ubejia Tum say at least processes to establish KUST campus were Boaseno. It started before Mwaben Eba Power. That one at least you would concede, Meboa.
No, it started before NDC Eba Power. Because Obuasi leader behind himself, we've been fighting for Sebenya University. So it did not start from when Kizuba Ebeye chief executive. It started when that honorable that's how you know honorable. But the AGA proposal, it are two different things. So the other Kizuba no more can almost on share. So maybe we'll let our hand 22nd March 2017. A letter AGA and the command minister honorable John Peter Amewu. I want the proposal and then you know the man. And the Jamaica some of in fact, discussions in the almost 30 years somewhere. But the Bianco di Assasiano no. I want Tiaka. Okay. And the AGA the so Eba the budget we say yes
in the assembly ne boka saying sa project now.
Yeah, rehabilitative building now, you did 500,000 plus, a little over 500,000.
A little over 500,000.
Yes, AGA for Nakasa Prabbe donated Sika and the support assembly, MIA, Edwano. It's maybe a commitment and I think we show as at the time AGA the proposal, they did not show that commitment. Access relinquishment plan, that government has not given approval to it. That proposal, it doesn't count. So it better not decide how
okay. Mamintie Kinzuba ni yemfa nkomo yinsi ni yensa ma bracket studio. Kinzuba akwaba net saying
Ibako obi me hoye na we.
Nyame adom me nso me hoye papa. Na we MC from which year to which year me pacho?
From 24th July 2013 to the 13th of January 2017.
Okay. In 2014 Moye Madrid starting negotiations pursuant to proposal be a Anglo Gold Ashanti de buy sanko mo mamo facilities be my multimedia UST campus or boase.
Obi me mo wan twa. Tie bona kasa no kwa as invest in ko nim ho hwe.
Oh, ade.
Because even the dates are wrong. Okay? Enye an autonomous university who asem ne ye kan. Obi. Enye an autonomous university. A wing of an already established university. Ewo ho dada. KNUST of Wasi campus. So before KNUST, the Kwakwaye campus of Wasi, first and foremost, they need University Council approval. And I'm telling you on authority, sir, any part or sign approval for the establishment of KNUST of Wasi City campus, the late engineer P.D. Obeng on the 27th of October 2013, not 2014. 27th October, go to KNUST record. Let's take it. There, the man approval for the establishment of the KNUST of Washington campus. And the 27th October, that was the day the council met and agreed. Prior to that, now me and Council number 19 and the call Professor Ofosu Ampofo. So if of another copy first made in assembly, which was captured by delegate MVP on the September of 2013, the first made in assembly meeting. My sessional address. After I had discussion with Professor Ofosu Ampofo, then Vice Chancellor of KNUST, and Mr. Fred Atakuma, Senior Vice President Sustainability Anglo Gold, and Manager Kwesi General Managing Director Anglo Gold. After our discussions, we want to establish a university in Washington. Then I went to KNUST and met Professor Ofosu Ampofo. So a committee was formed which had me as the head. Not Elijah. The can only. And I'll tell you what,
Kinzuba, Yamren
inti. 1 million. There's a budget of 1,600,000 a bit so for the renovation of the human resource development. Department of Anglo.
Kinzuba, my question I maybe say I was here this me munya meje national chairman time kakrani de yes inti I would have to end in a minute or two. Kinzuba, despite sa effort amu put in no it did not happen. We mu na baba be so what's your point?
This government, he has not spent a dime. Let him prove by was spent one time. It's a lie. They tell you that this government has spent on the innovation.
Nani say almost spend 500,000 Ghana cedis.
It is a lie. Let them
Okay, guys, in what I'll do is I would end here. Medamunyina say for your time, but this is a subject would come back to maybe in the coming days. Now, yetimi settling. Many thanks to the two honorable members, the current MCE Elijah Dansebona and the immediate past MC Oforia Jimanboedi, popularly known as King Zuba. Back to this particular topic some other time. Honorable Ofosu Ampofo studio, national chairman of the NDC. Ya can send Bebrenang messages Bebre. We have to move on. Honorable Nansaimu flag bearer. Enya cause to speak.
Na me pese me yes some infrastructure health infrastructure na say me kan na me can be esisu say. You see Nansaimu COVID by.
Yeah.
And yehu what visionary leadership is all about. Who say President Mahama during the time of his presidency and Ebola by.
Yes.
Ebola by me kai pass and na Kufuor threaten say on he say unipa ba kokra enhwere ne nkwa ewo man we see. And President Mahama did a lot, put up a technical team ebo no homode ye adwumaden ama yetimi so Ebola no ebi ensi enumua no and now na adwen say ochina ye nim ne ochina ebisi until let me put systems and structures in place. I mean build the state of the art health facilities. I mean famwa eno ye wo gapo ha when we see International Maritime Hospital.
Yeah.
Edu baby no. FIFA for cry say because of the state of the art of the hospital in Tinunka, footballers now, omoba be ye womo, MRI no, African, omba be no Ghana hasi. Emma eno Rich Hospital, one of the modern hospitals I want to University of Ghana Medical Center. Ni biye kura, it took 1 man demonstration CMB hospital na fe there excuse.
Who would you credit for Sar Hospital? No? University of Ghana.
University of it's NDC.
No, who would you credit? The NDC has had 2 presidents in the last few years.
Oh, President Mahama was part of President Mills' administration. And so whatever they initiated, they take the credit for it. And but
President Mills was president.
And I'm say
who fought for that project?
Yes, but it was completed by President Mahama.
That's not in doubt. Who started that project?
I mean, I'm talking about NDC. I'm sitting here talking about NDC as a party.
No. So you know why I'm asking this question?
I'm talking about NDC. Say, yabe share jumasi.
Yes.
Na ya juma ye wiye no. Ye may be no kwa problem. I am just building an argument to say, if you have a visionary leader who thinks about into the future, East Hospital, Maritime Hospital, Bank of Ghana Hospital, and all these things, and can ne bula buy no. Hina yejina. President Mahama who say, Emra help for eco strikes no near the baby no police hospital. Any a friend said 37 because of the regimental nature of job into teaming cost strike in no much let me put one of these in the middle belt. I mean Fankosi Kumasi. I am talking about vision. It would the way now to now say. And I go forward. Emma Bola Iba Akabaye say less than 6 months I got to a bay and some of CBBC hospitals. Now me call Eastern region. I was told by a communication officer say I be cut a sword in about 8 places. So BC hospital. A cut a sword we know sorry free one.
Oh, now Eastern Regional Hospital no cut a sword. There's no contractors or one.
Well, I have not seen any contractors there.
Eastern Regional
Hospital. You see a friend say one way trauma center or in Resi. When they cut the sword and they move, we don't see any activity there. I have not seen any vigorous activity. Nana Nansana YouTube no be catchem so I say Bobai Aja then who say but I'm saying that why would it take all these years in the twilight of your term of office, no? Then you move out cutting sword. When President Mahama around this time, the fourth year, no all campaign, no, it was even very difficult for him to even finish the number of projects that he had to commission. That is why he always calls for the debate. Say, look, if it's about performance and what each of us have done in 4 years, let us face the Ghanaian people. Now you can't ask them. Say about half ni about rules. You see, you can't rules. Rules is not about just going to put asphalt on existing roads. In Soto, air washing nako. You can't rules. We are talking about rules that you start construction, you break the ground, you do all this, you do the covers, you do the drains, and that is where we talk about construction of roads. But if you sit and about a year to your now 6 months, 4 months, and then I have seen situations where asphalted roads have been washed away in a few months after they have been done. I mean, it is all over the place.
Really, but I just mentioned one.
One of them was in Upper East recently. The roads that they put the asphalt there were washed out.
Upper East?
Yes, Upper East recently.
Which road?
I can't specify. I can cross-check and give you the facts. But it is there. And it's on social media, roads that have been washed away. As for, because you see, if you want to do, and it'll be frame, no, catch me say, so, Amasamai, Haya. Ufri Pukwasi interchange now. We say we do a market near the roads are extremely in bad shape.
Yeah.
And last night they were putting some gravels and others. That is not what we are looking for. We are looking for construction of road. I'll be say, we say, my baby said be the airport existing road base no crowd strong. Now me be Now me say I believe that yen track record in terms of infrastructure, in terms of what we have done. If you look at the interchanges, Pukwasi interchange, the Pukwasi interchange was negotiated, the loans and everything was negotiated by President Mahama. A friend is saying a motorway end interchange was negotiated by the NDC government. Even the railway line constructed from Tema to Akosomo, Mpakadan, the loan was sought by President Mahama from India. Sometimes you want to ask yourself, say, then people should tell us projects are almost initiative. Our initiative executed from beginning to end. And so when you go and commission such projects, it is only fair. Say we are back as you look, maybe two self project equals. And I mean, maybe some, I bet was baby. Let's share in the glory as a nation. That is how beautiful we can build Ghana. But not to go and denigrate and say, as much as you buy, when you know that book no tell lie. All these projects that we are talking, and I say, President Mills and President Mahama give good example of even naming FPSO. My friend said Kufuor,
yes,
because he contributed towards it, and then commissioning N1, calling President Kufuor, said, "Brana in commission together." That is the beauty of democracy, and that is what we want. It heals the country. It heals the country. It makes us feel good as a nation because you will say politics in divided, but that is what unites us as one people with a common destiny. And for me, these are some of the critical things that we need to look at as we move forward. You wait me pull the nation together, as one people.
Ekosiisen the higher Sempa FM. That's the Honorable Ofosu Ampofo, Samuel candidate, national chairman of the NDC, and Motesi AD and Komo. We'll talk about the Electoral Commission. We'll talk about more actual chances. We're more confident, but our more target is saying going into the next election, and we have under a month to vote in Ghana. And I've heard, I think you're born a voice be now Okase. Omoma Nanadonya one term said the US farmer Trump aye one term, you know. Does he believe in that uncanny relationship between Ghana and the US of A? And how does he, gauge the atmosphere going into 2020 already? And right in the National Peace Council and Yomo Edi and Komo, is the situation good for a competitive election? Nina and Komoa. To me, Eddie. Now, answer and Mama Missima Mienu, Yentie we Emra, and then we get into those details.